I'm going to take you through the process of amending a soil in place, the process we call scoop and dump. Here you can see students spreading about 4 to 6 inches of good quality compost on a compacted soil area, actually 3 bioswales which were connected. As you can see the depression there. Once the compost is spread, we come in with a backhoe, which you'll see now right there is backhoe, and the bucket is going down about 15 to 18 inches, scooping the compost and the soil up in the air and then dumping it back on the ground, hence scoop and dump. We have the backhoe working its way out of the area so it doesn't drive on areas that just had been amended. It's quite rough, but we get seams of compost in between the clods of compacted soil. Here you can see the area that's now been completely scooped and dumped, and the plants are ready to be placed. We have a design which we had decided on what to plant beforehand, so we're just going to be implementing that process. Students placing plants, mostly shrubs in this area, both B&B and containerized plants, and then they plant them, given the spacing that we had previously decided upon. And after they're in the ground, we mulch with 2 to 3 inches of shredded bark mulch. And the mulch is really, of course, it gives a visual appeal, but it also adds a lot to the soil. So you can see the entire area mulch. This is probably the end of April 2014, and a few plants have started to pop, but mostly things are still a bit dormant. So this is September now. You're looking at that same year, and you can see there's quite a lot of plant growth from what we had originally. Plants are really taking off in the soil that has been prepared for them. We're looking for canopy closure, which is where you have leaves touching leaves of other plants, so to reduce the amount of light incidence and thus the amount of weed growth. So we don't expect this to happen right away. Here's July of next year, and we're getting quite a bit of growth. So we're getting close to canopy closure, not quite there, but a lot of vigorous plant growth because of the way we prepared the soil. And this is catching rainwater or stormwater from a parking lot, which is the purpose of this particular area. So now we're at 2 years after planting, and we're really pretty much 90% or greater of canopy closure, where you see leaves of all the different shrubs touching each other, reducing the amount of light that gets to the soil and encourages weed growth. The only issue is we would always have to deal with the edges of where you can't actually have plants growing right over that. But the weed growth is much reduced and gives an easier way of maintaining such a complex planting. And the plants are growing really well in the soil that we prepared.